we are. Here we've made it to protest. This interlude seems so randomly powerful for right now. Like everybody's kind of gotten their, or I don't know who all has or hasn't gotten their stimulus by this point, but it seemed so poignant to things going on in the world. And I don't know if you meant it for that, but what did you mean for protest, and what was your ultimate goal for this interlude?
I was just trying to bring it back around before I transitioned into more, I guess, before I transitioned into the next song, I wanted to be sure that people knew how I felt about the traditional 9 to 5 in the first place, right? Being an artist, being an entrepreneur, it's fine, and I know I have to be practical in some ways, but that practicality comes with a lot of pain points, and those pain points are what I was expressing, right? Sitting all alone in the office, they just keep on thinking that I lost it. Where the boss is, you know what I mean? It's like I'm here. I'm working overtime. They think I lost my mind because I spend so much time here. But then I was like thinking like, oh, where the boss is at anyway? Like, are they here? No, they're not here. They get to go home. And so I feel like a lot of people go through that and they experience that type of viewpoint. And I don't feel like that's a great place to be in, and so I wanted to express that. When I was in a management role, and when I was in leadership positions, a lot of the times I made sure I was the last person to leave, and not a lot of managers do that. Not a lot of workplaces make you feel like you're not the last one to leave, and that's what protest is about.
Do you think that there's an issue with the work structure? Because for us artists, it's a different, there's a different way of life that can sometimes come off as lazy or not as productive because it's not in that logical way. So was protest like saying, as you were talking, like breaking away from that, or blah, blah, blah. Was protest breaking away from the psychological prototypical norms of a job that doesn't necessarily have a blueprint?
Yeah, pretty much it was. The reason why it was exactly that is because look at today, right now, during this pandemic, we're in a situation where a lot of people have to work from home. A lot of people are doing their jobs remotely, and in a lot of cases, they're just as effective remotely as they are in the office, right? As a boss, I know that it takes my editor, Garret, shout out to Garret. I know that it takes him about an hour to 2 hours to edit a video, right? And in a normal hour, if he's putting in like, or in a normal week, if he's putting in like a lot of effort towards video, or he has a lot of workload, he could normally get that done in about 10 hours. So a 40-hour work week doesn't seem like it's the smartest way to structure our society right now. And we're getting closer and closer and closer to that realization. And so I know for a fact that a lot of times when people go into work, they work the first 4 hours, they get a lot of things done in those first 4 hours, and then after lunchtime, it's downhill from there. So why does it make sense to keep employees longer than you actually need them in an 8-hour day? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so I'm protesting against these norms. And a lot of people will object to that. Well, maybe it supplies people with jobs and blah, 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 and all these other things. And I was like, yeah, that's great. But maybe we need to move away from an hourly system to a salary system. You still want this talented person. You still need to provide this talented person with a meaningful wage. Why don't you do it on a salary? Have them work the hours that they need to work. Let them go home. Let them take care of their kids. Let them have some balance. And then when they come back to you, they're ready to put in some harder work, and they appreciate that a little bit more. And you retain your employee, and then your company grows because you have all these happy employees. It makes more sense.
A lot of what I've heard, especially like in the passion of this interlude, and this, well, technically it's still a song. I don't care what you put on there about interlude. This was a song.
Yeah, it's a song. It's a song. I just finished writing, right? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people get disappointed with songs this short, but the reality is that, like, if I'm done writing, I'm done writing, and I don't have anything else to say.
Because under this construct, I think a lot of the times, in the same way that we promote bad churches, is the same way that they promote employees who would take advantage of that system. And that's normally what they point to when they say that these things can't succeed in that way. Because you have to be motivated by something. Are you not motivated by the money? Are you not motivated by the money? You know, so I think I like that about what you were saying. Like, man, fuck your check. Like, no, it's not. The money is nothing but a tool to the things that I'm required to have, but it's not what motivates me.
Yeah, but the reality is that in most cases, most people do the right thing. So numbers wise, you got a small percentage of people that are going to take advantage of something, and people do, like, kind of take advantage of things from time to time, right? Don't really obey the laws on traffic laws or whatever that may be. Maybe you speed every once in a while. But the reality is that the percentage of people actually being in a space where they don't need the money and they just come to work and abuse a 4-hour work day or a 5-hour work day is not very likely. You know what I mean? And then if they do abuse it, guess what? You can fire them. There's a solution right there, and then hire somebody else that won't abuse it. So I don't see any excuse for it.